Hey everyone, it's Marianne with Murphy Tells Stories on Travel Tuesday. Just making it in under the wire with my goal of posting every day. It's been a big day, so that's why we're coming to you late. And I'm going to share some wonderful photos of an experience I had tonight and had a little preview on Saturday. It was a place I went to for the first time here in Boca Raton, little Italian restaurant that's owned by an Italian. And she is one of three sisters that owns three restaurants in the area. And my friend and I just happened to go there Saturday because our plan A had a 30-minute wait. And the bartender was young and very polished and polite. And then all of a sudden he started speaking Italian, and he's not Duolingo. He's a native Italian speaker. I'm more curious, and my friend is a real estate agent. So is this young man Ivan? And it just ended up being a really, really pleasant evening. And he was telling us how Tuesdays are really the night to come in because they have live music. Um, and he created such a delightful experience. I had dinner plans with a friend elsewhere, but the timing was right. I said, "Oh, I'll dip in there and get a cocktail and have some dessert." And they had a wonderful singer, and it was really, it was really great. Very lively, just as Ivan had promised. He was our bartender Saturday night, and he was there, and the owner was there, and there's a lot of people, some people dancing. Um, I had wonderful conversations with people at the bar, and the ambience was such that you felt like you were visiting Italy, like you had dipped out of your current daily life and went through a sliding door, and all of a sudden you're in Italy and enjoying wonderful food and drink and music. Um, and I hear this, I'm been enjoying taking myself out to eat by myself since I was 16, since I could drive. I would go and treat myself once a month to there was a breakfast place on the beach, town south of here. And I would time it so that I could see the sunrise um, coming up as I was eating my eggs and bacon. And, it was so I have a hard time understanding why um, people don't want to do this, but I get it. We worry about what other people think, and it feels awkward and all those things. But this, I did not want for conversations. Lovely people rotating in and out of the bar, and I had the same drink that I had the first time, which I'm generally a beer and wine drinker, but this was a limoncello spritz. And the one I had tonight was a lot stronger than the one I had Saturday night. But, and I had this dessert that was really, and I'm going to have to look it up to, because my Italian is, very imperfect, but it's called Les Sorel. It's at 507 Southeast Meisner Boulevard, and that's in the Royal Palm Plaza, or they call it Royal Palm Place now. I've been here so long, it's changed part of its name. But I used to work there in that plaza as a bus girl for Jan McGart's Royal Palm Dinner Theater, Theater in the Round. And so now that space is called the Funky Biscuit. So it's a live music venue that's done quite well for itself. In fact, my cousin traveled from upstate New York, and her band was featured there. Um, but yeah, it's you know, I think solo travel is one of the best things you can do for yourself. I get it. Some experiences are better shared, but solo travel really helps you get to know yourself and helps you discover things about yourself that you didn't know how capable you were, because travel, just like life, there's mishaps and uh, challenges, and it's just because you're on vacation doesn't mean difficult things don't happen. Um, and travel, my family, I grew up in a traveling family, so I don't really recall a time not traveling. So I get it if it's not within your upbringing that it can feel scary. But I so enjoy, that kind of experience where I was out by myself, had a lovely dinner with my friend. I asked if she wanted to go, but she's got an early date tomorrow. And I was like, well, it's still early. I'm gonna, they said it gets lively there, come between these hours. And I'm so glad I did. And you can travel in whatever city or town that you live in by going someplace that you normally don't go, treating yourself. Um, and I think that's kind of important, finding a way to make everyday moments special. And I danced and sang, and the singer was quite good. And then she brought up someone from the audience to sing who was also excellent. Um, and it was just really lovely. And I'm looking at the menus online and I can't find, but I will show pictures in the comments of this travel story tonight. Um, but it was so light and fresh, cream and this kind of flaky pastry and a little bit of berry kind of jam on it. And it went great with the limoncello spritz. And it was like dessert that you don't feel bad about eating. God, almost felt healthy. Um, but just being in that ambience and where people just were relaxed and enjoying themselves. I'm about to go on a big road trip up to Toronto and stay in Toronto for the summer. So it just kind of eased me into that mood. And it always seems you find a great new place right when you're about to leave a place. But I will be back, and at least for the very least, to visit in August, my hometown. But yeah, challenge yourself. Take yourself out for lunch, dinner, sit at the bar, strike up a conversation with a stranger, the bartender, what have you. And that will help build your confidence if you've always wanted to travel, but you're not going anywhere because nobody wants to go with you. You can do it. Um, it still will be fun. It still can be challenging, but when you learn how to really enjoy your own company, a night like tonight was, you know, warm ambiance, great music, a fresh cocktail and a little dessert to after dinner, um, making your fellow patrons laugh and sharing our collective experience. So travel doesn't always have to involve getting on an airplane. You can travel to something new in your own city. And frankly, I lived in New York for 13 years and I didn't visit the Statue of Liberty until we went back and visited there when I was 18 or 19. So, you can look at it that approach. Where is something I always intended to go to, but still haven't yet? Um, yeah. So the travel bug is always awaiting you. And it just starts with one decision. And I will put links and stuff and photos of my little after dinner dessert visit tonight in Les Sorel, which I believe means the sisterhood. is what Ivan was telling me tonight. And they have authentic Italian restaurant and pizzeria, and Italian restaurateurs always in our family's heart since 1962. All right. Thank you so much for listening tonight. Sorry for the late night content posting, but I'm happy to be showing up as I intended. Happy travels, and until next time, be well.